So I was just thinking, but I'm gonna drink some coffee before I do my hair into the sections I want to put it in. I've reconnected with a certain braiding style that I really like, and it's because it's to mitigate headaches with the mask. Because I say, you know what, between glasses and your head, I always pick not having a headache. So do what makes you feel good is my credo. And actually, I just feel like wearing your hair in a braid, I finally came to the conclusion everybody has a big giant opinion in the sky. Wearing your hair in the braid is a very protective style when you have knee-length hair. Super protective. And it doesn't have to be up. And actually, I think, okay, this is going to be shattering to the people that say you have to wear your hair up all the time. I think that's for like if you're not moving around a lot. If you move around a lot, if you're very active, a braid is better because those hairdos with clips or just like any kind of pin, hair fork, they look pretty, but I would end up having to use so much to secure my hair down because it would be slipping around. So if you want like a really secure style that moves with you, it doesn't pull on your head, like, okay, maybe some people feel really comfortable with a hair fork, but I think for people that are more active, just a single braid. Or if I had more time today, I was going to do double braids in my hair because I'm going to start doing that again. Sometimes more. It's just, I feel like I need time to do that. Some people don't like double braids because when your hair's longer, no, it goes places. Well, I don't care. Like, I'm not going to be, I have long hair and I like to have long hair. I don't feel like I have to wear it up to hide it away. If you wear your hair in a single braid down your back, you can adapt. Like to me, it took how many years? Like, okay. So I tried wearing my hair up a lot and it looked pretty, but I just couldn't, once we started having to wear a mask with glasses, don't ever listen to other people. Listen to yourself and know what's best for your like health. Like I'm not gonna give myself a headache ever. I'm not gonna wear my hair a certain way because that other people think that's a better way to wear your hair. I like wearing my hair in a braid no matter when. A braid is contained and it's down, and I just think at the end of the day there was a reason I always loved wearing my hair in a braid. So this channel celebrates wearing a hair in a braid, and in my last video I kind of shared that I think men look good with long hair, and I think braids look good on men too. So this channel is pro braid. I mean, I'm not anti wearing your hair up. I've done it. I've tried it. I just feel like for me, there's two reasons. It's the headache. I don't want to have a headache. And number two, just it's not practical for me because if you're moving around a lot, unless you're just very sedentary, I think wearing your hair up with hair forks and sticks never would feel secure to me. And I would use hair clips, and I just feel like it causes some breakage. And I just feel like for me, it just feels better on my head. And then the other reason, the ultimate reason is I like having long hair. Why do I want to wear my hair up? Like if I have long hair, and a braid is out of the way, and I've adapted myself. Like, okay, sometimes occasionally you bend down and you have a long braid. Some people might not like that, but I'm like, women in India do it all the time. Women in India wear their hair in braids and it's like knee length all the time. I think if they can do it and they're active, and it seems like braiding is just, or they do a folded braid. I mean, they do updos as well, but I see a lot of Indian women wear their long hair in a braid, and it's nice. Like, what's wrong with that? I don't French braid my hair because I have tried and it hurts my hands and my back, and I won't. And also, too, you really have to pull the roots tight, and I won't do that to myself because I didn't like the way it looked. And I feel like to me, I'm more about just like what's the most comfortable to me. I don't want to have my head, I don't want to, first off, you have to brush the roots and really tug on them. And for the length of my hair, and because it causes like me to feel like I have pain in the back of my arms, holding my arms aloft, I won't do it. And I don't think the French braid is that like exciting to the point that I want to French braid my own hair. I would French braid someone else's hair, but no, I'm not gonna. You put a lot of pressure on your roots to get your hair in a French braid, and maybe some women that have long hair can do that, or they feel comfortable doing that. But I didn't, and I felt like it was causing tangling. And my whole philosophy is, why would you tangle up your hair if you have long hair? In order to retain length to your hair, you want to tangle up your hair the least amount. So some women, yeah, they probably have knee length hair, they French braid it easily, but I don't know. What have I seen? I've seen a lot of women with long hair wearing it up, and they wear hair forks, or they wear it in a braid. And I'm going for the braided style. That's more my thing. I don't. So French braids are pretty. I would do them on someone else, but I don't really have a desire to pull my roots that tight. And I've tried before, and then you have to put a lot of like, okay, pomade, hair gels, things that aren't overly healthy for your hair. Like, okay, I use some silicones, but I don't use a lot of products that are not healthy for your hair. Because if you're trying to grow your hair long, my philosophy is maybe some people they have good results with that, but I don't use those things in my hair. So it just you have to use a lot of like gels, maybe even hairspray, just things that I don't really want to put in my hair, and I don't really want to subject my hair to that. I guess I just want my hair to grow long, be healthy, remain thick. Like those are my goals. So no, I don't French braid my hair. For some people, that's probably. But I don't see a lot of women in the long hair community French braiding their hair anyway. If you go to that forum, I don't see French braiding. It's pretty. When I was younger, my mom would French braid my hair for me. I would French braid other people's hair, but I don't want to hold my arms behind my back to pull and tug and just smooth out the roots. And that it does some damage, I think, too. Because I mean, I could be wrong. Maybe it doesn't. Maybe it's a very protective style. It's very pretty, but I don't know. I'm sure it's fine. I just don't really feel like wanting to do it in my hair, but maybe other people enjoy it. It's hard to say. So I just do a regular braid in my hair. I'm still trying to determine, do I feel like the sections are how I want them? I suppose they are this way. Okay. So I take the hair. Down a bit. And you need to embrace like your hair texture too. Like I don't want to have perfectly straight hair. I love having wavy. Like I would say my hair kind of has the Mediterranean, East Mediterranean characteristics. My dad had curly hair. Um, it's funny because I don't think he would have known his dad did because his dad had short hair. But a lot of women, Sarah Levin, like curly wavy hair, and that's kind of my texture too. And you want to embrace it and not slick it down. Like I embrace my wavy Mediterranean hair, and I love it. I actually wish it was more curly like my dad. I think curly hair, like if he had taken good care of his hair, I said in that last video, that could have been awesome. I think having curly Syrian Lebanese, like Israeli Levantine hair is pretty awesome. Like I love that texture, and I'm not an apologist for not having straight, blow dried hair because I don't do that. I love like you have to embrace your texture. Like when they talk about natural hair care, like you hear it in the African American community too, because like there a lot of them have curly hair, and a lot of Mediterranean Middle Eastern people have wavy hair, and I mean some white people do too. But I just think it's really cool when people talk about like embracing their natural hair texture because I'm all about that. Like, why do I want to hide? Like, why would I want to straighten my hair? I don't. Like, I actually always thought curly hair. When I was young, I always wanted to curl my hair, and it would hold a curl like amazingly. Like this is an interesting thing. Like being a mix of European. My mom could never hold a curl in her hair. She'd curl her hair, and she'd be like, when she was a kid, or even as a young adult, she'd be like, "Oh, my hair's flat by lunch." But me, I could curl my hair, and it would really hold a curl because my hair is wavy, and it just would do that naturally. And my dad, he had curly hair. Like it's interesting just to see like the two different hair patterns. But on my mom's side, they could grow very long hair. Like my great grandmother, she had hair to her knees, but I would say on my dad's side they had really thick hair. Although my mom too, I think my aunt, she has really super thick hair. So I think it could be a little bit of both. Like I don't know. It's interesting. Interesting topic. It's just interesting to see like why is your hair texture this way? And even like okay, there are even white people. Their hair is not straight like that. They do things to their hair to make it straight, but then they get frustrated later on that they have hair breakage or their hair is really super dry. It's because you're loading your hair up with chemicals. Like, okay, maybe I use a little bit of silicone and shampoo or conditioner to detangle my hair. That's just because my hair is so long, and why struggle? I mean, I could go back to using completely cone free, but guess what? Even some of the products that say that they're completely cone free aren't. I kind of want to do a researched, edited video on this topic because I'm thinking, how many shampoos are 100% cone free? Because even the ones that say they're sulfate free and cone free and blah, 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 and all these different things, a lot of them have dimethicone in them. And unless you're like, I guess if you buy the really high end organic, I guess I could do that, but right now it's not really my budget to buy like more expensive shampoo. And yeah, so I don't know. I guess I could do a test between different various kinds of shampoo and say, well, all I know is there's one that's a little bit more on the natural side, the Alevia, and I really love the way it smells. But I just noticed that if I use Alevia only to detangle my hair, it's detangle a hair hour, and whereas if I use the swab, my hair detangles easier. And yes, Alevia is a little bit more on the natural side. So I say as natural as possible, but I think it's okay to have some cones because we don't want to struggle. Like we don't want to struggle more than needed. So, and I listen to some of the just people in the long hair community. They say, well, they use cones and they have like floor length hair. So if they do it and they have really good results, why am I going to struggle? Always trying to find the most natural thing because I'm pretty natural with my hair. I don't do a lot of crazy things like I avoid heat. I don't put heat on my hair. I don't use chemical hair dye in my hair. The only thing I've ever used was henna in years. And do you know how much discipline it takes to be completely like, all right, in our modern society to eschew all hair dye, to eschew all heat, like to just do it that way for over a decade. Like I measured the time. The last time that I ever put a chemical hair dye on my hair was in 2009 on my own because I had decided in 2008 I wasn't going to go when I did that hair journey video. where you see at the very beginning where I had kind of, how would I say, it was more like a layered shoulder length haircut. That was the very last time that I had went to the hair salon in December of 2008. And then I think around, okay, later in the year, I think because I didn't like that I had done a kind of dye, or it was reddish, but it was looking kind of blondish in my hair, like with some old highlights I had done. Because I had never really wanted to do these things with my hair until I went to the salon. And the stylist started talking about, well, you should try this, you should try that. And the reason I stopped going to the salon is like, I actually want to have long hair, even though at the time, like my hair was pretty long compared to other people who went. Like I actually, when I first started going to this one stylist in early 2008, I had mid back length hair, but towards the end, I think I was encouraged because she said you should try this style. It's like layered, and it ended up being your shoulder length. So your hair will never really grow if you're always going to a hairstylist. It's a trick. Like they'll say like you need to trim your hair every, and people are like, well, why does my hair never get longer? It's because, okay, it's not fun to say to the avid, I need to be the hairstylist all the time community. But if you're cutting your hair constantly, it's not going to grow because you're constantly cutting off the growth. It's common sense, okay? Everybody in the long hair community that wants to grow their hair longer, you kind of just stop going to the salon. Some people still go to get their hair trimmed, and that's cool. Like if you feel comfortable having, like, I don't know, like specialized long hair salons, I get that that's a very niche thing. But personally, I don't need to go to somebody to get my hair trimmed. Now, I actually had somebody trim my hair, and it was getting longer in 2010 and 11 twice, and ended up going from back length to shoulder length again a couple times if you watch the old hair length journey video. So, and also too, even though I was growing my hair long over time, I would notice like in 2013 towards 2014, my hair was getting pretty long, and then I cut off quite a few inches myself. Like I would trim, and my trims were much, like I'm thinking about even trimming my hair again because the longer your hair gets, I do want to maintain a healthier hemline, and I'm not so obsessed with my hair like reaching floor length. If it doesn't happen, like I think it will, because I looked at a picture 3 years ago from today, and my hair was like tailbone length, okay, and now it's knee length. So I'm not really like in a rush to think, oh my god, like if in 3 years my hair with trims where, okay, I calculated how much I've trimmed off my hair this year, this is gonna like kind of, this will trigger some people. I trimmed 5 inches off my hair since last November, okay? Like on and off. Like I've trimmed a bit here and there. So I could just never trim my hair and reach like a really super um, long length. And maybe my hair doesn't have the most even hemline right now. Because it could, I mean, I could trim more and get an even more even hemline. But I just trim to keep it healthy. It's even on the ends. It's just there's a couple parts because my hair naturally kind of tapers. And in order for my hair to be 100% even, I'd have to cut off a lot more where the taper is in the front. And that's just normal when your hair grows longer. I used to just trim it more to have that, like, but it still would want to taper towards the front. I just noticed that the front pieces are shorter. And I don't know why that is per se. I think maybe it's because when you brush your hair, like, they get more attention. I don't know what the reason is, but I suspect that's it. They get more attention, and that's it. So it's not really something I can completely change. I mean, I guess I could, but this is my braided style. My hair is in a braid. I need to jam. But thanks for watching.